What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica at the Classy Climb blog. We just came from the sauna, and it was gym session at Hot Works, and it's very hot. So we're trying to keep the camera angle respectful. But listen, let's hit it up. You know the topic, you see the title, 60 Days Late in Houston, Texas. We'll hit that story. Also, scared money, scared energy. It's a dangerous thing. And as you see the thumbnail, dude worked at Burger King, not as a manager, not as a shift leader, for 27 years. The embarrassment of here's your 27 years, earned him $500,000 in donations from GoFundMe, which he then proceeds to buy a home, and now he wants to have a food truck. But first, before we get into that, drop your city and state in the chat. We're going to get into it. Listen, I'm excited this weekend. I'm going to go down to Atlanta, see you guys, and we have an event August 25th. 6:30 to 9:30. Listen, drop your city and state in the chat, because I already know a lot of y'all are like, Erica, no, your channel has been about people being able to start businesses, grow businesses. Don't go negative about this man wanting to start a business. It's his dream. Erica, you're a hater. Don't be a hater. And again, I'm not a hater. But I want to hit you. I have like literally 9 reasons why he shouldn't start this business, and their reasons, and they're also how to help. And then I have another 5 reasons of why scared money don't make no money. Okay. But first things first, before I get into the Burger King man, as you guys are coming in, let me hit up a video that is going viral. It is a Black young lady who says she has twins in Houston, and she's 60 days late on the rent. Houston isn't helping her. Houston's a terrible place to live. She can't get financial money. She can't get food stamps. Her baby daddy's in jail, locked up for beating her up. And she goes on this rant. And I shared it on the community wall with Anton Daniels, had did the video. And I want to be very clear. This is happening more than I would like to see on the internet. People going, I moved to Texas. I moved to Florida. I moved to Atlanta. And they aren't helping me. They're not giving me free stuff. They're not giving me food stamps. There was even a woman who moved down from Ohio, San Antonio food stamp office, basically cut her food stamps off every 3 months. She went in there with a gun, okay, with 2 kids. She was a white lady from Ohio. And I'm like, ma'am, all this time you've been good. You didn't have no criminal record. Now you down here about to shoot up the food stamp office? When people are hungry, they get either dangerous or creative. That's basically what happens. They get dangerous or creative. And if you guys can hear me, drop a 1 in the comments. I hope my audio is coming in clear as possible. Because I am in the vehicle. I know that can be annoying for some of y'all. But listen, when I saw the video of the woman, oh my God, my 2 kids and my baby daddy's in jail, and I don't get no help from Houston, she went into a mode of scared energy, which makes scared money, which makes scared decisions. Instead of, and I really want to be honest here, the way the digital economy works right now, she literally could hop on TikTok shop and Instagram and have those babies up as content. I'm talking about 3 posts a day, a little GoFundMe with a little PayPal link, with a little Cash App link. Help me and my babies as we navigate from domestic violence and we start a new life. I know y'all think, man, Erica, that's a shame. How dare you tell this woman to put her children on the internet as content? But anybody who's in a abundance mindset, an alignment mindset, could easily open up their eyes and see the internet loves twins. They love twins. It is one of the easiest plays in America. If you got a set of twins and they giggle or they laugh or they cute, there's a Hispanic girl right now in, I think, San Antonio or Houston. She has twin daughters. She's Latina. And if you don't know this, a lot of times Hispanic people don't have twins because the torso is short. I know that sounds crazy, but they actually medically study this. Certain communities don't have a lot of twins because the torso is short. Okay. Now, she put those twins up, and I've watched that girl progressively go from living in her mother's house to an apartment to now her little sister's pregnant, and she has been on Instagram and another apartment. Luxury, nice apartments, not cheap apartments either, right? Really nice apartments, getting all kinds of aid, getting all kinds of donations, getting people sending all kinds of stuff. There is a grandmother in Mississippi whose son keeps making babies with little white girls. And so he's on his like 7th mixed child at this point. And the last white girl made twins. Okay. And she puts them up and she does food challenges with them. She gives them pickled beets and carrots and chips and candy. And they try them and they laugh. Do you know that woman made so much money that the girl is jealous and made her own TikTok and took the grandbabies away so she can't see them? There is a black man on here who has a set of twin boys. The mother walked away from the twin boys when they were less than 1 year old. This man has been posting all this content. He made so much money, he was able to buy a house and 3 cars and put the boys in private school. And they're 5 years old. The mom was so mad he would not give some of that money that he's making, as he's buying a house, buying multiple cars, putting these twin boys in a private school, that she went to court and said he's exploiting the children. And of course, the man didn't have another job. So guess what the judge did? Well, I'm going to give him to the mom and you need to take all that content down. I even messaged him directly. He said he didn't have an attorney because he didn't have any money. And that's because his money was the twins being on the internet. I want y'all to understand greatly that the internet is paying in coins, but y'all want to come on this internet to cry, to be scared, to make excuses for your life. Ma'am, if your rent is 60 days late, even with twins, you need to be reaching out to all the departments. You need to be reaching out and finding other ways to make income. You need to be doing something. You need to make a home daycare, something. You need to be, hey, look, I'll watch your kid for $100, $200. I'll watch your kid this week for that, just to get your money up. There's a million ways. Again, scared money, scared energy, scares away money, scares away people. It just does. It just does. Okay? So there's no reason to be 60 days late in Florida or Texas or Tennessee or wherever you've moved to now and cry that I don't have any help. The government isn't helping me. It isn't paying my bills. How dare them? That's insane, y'all. You want to be paid for existing. Listen, you may say, Erica, that man just started beating her up and went to jail. That man was aggressive before he beat you up, and put you in jail. Was he aggressive while you were pregnant? Any of those things. Again, I'm not victim blaming. I just am I know many, unfortunately, I know more than enough people that I would like not to know from being in the military family, military environment where the man beat up the woman, but hey, the woman didn't have money and she couldn't move or some ridiculous excuse. It happens all the time. Unfortunately, people make excuses for people's behavior and they don't have a way out or they don't have a way to leave. I've heard it a million times before. Okay. All right. So listen, I'm all about abundance. I'm all about alignment. I don't want to go too woo-woo on y'all today, but hear me out. I think this man is treating this like the lottery. Right? Before I go there, Anthony just said the judge gave custody of twins to a woman who walked out on her children. She ain't been in the children's life since they were 1 year old. Again, y'all, I want to say some other stuff, but I'll stop. Right? For sure. You already know that. Right? So here we go. All right. Here we go. Burger King man's worked at Burger King for 27 years. He is not a manager. But I saw the comments. Many of y'all are like, but Erica, he could know people in food service. He could know this. He could know that. It could be luck. That's lottery thinking. This man don't know nobody from working at Burger King for 27 years. If he did, he'd be a manager at another store. If he did, he'd be a manager and transfer to somewhere else. If he did, he'd have pay raises. If he did, he'd already have a home. This man basically got a lottery windfall of $500,000. And after all the fees, I think it's closer to 400,000, right? 400,000, 450. Because I don't think people realize GoFundMe takes a percentage for them doing their research or whatever, making sure you're legit. And it's this lottery mentality that, oh my God, I've got to do something so out of the ordinary to hit it out the park with this money that it makes sense. And actually, when you get a windfall of money, when someone dies and leave you an inheritance, the average person goes through the inheritance in 9 months. And that's whether you're rich, a billionaire, or you're poor. They study this stuff for about 100 years. In about 9 months, you'll be through the money on average. So let's step back, okay? He bought a house. You're telling me this man, after working at Burger King for 27 years, didn't have a house? Do you understand? This is a low performer. This is a mid performer. And you say, Erica, he works hard. He works all these shifts and all these hours. Listen, I'm not taking away from it. Hard work is good work. But 400,000 was for him to sit down and retire. Not just now, but at some point in the future. The 400,000, and anybody who tells you this, when you get a windfall or a lump sum, you take about $5,000 of that and you go get interviews with attorneys. You go talk with lawyers. You go talk with a financial advisor. You don't give them any money, but you just talk to them and see, okay, what is the thing I need to be knowledgeable? What do I need to possibly doing? I tell y'all this all the time on this channel. I've personally made mistakes. When I got a lump sum of money, the person advised me, hey, take this money and put it into your stock account and these particular type of stocks and take a loan out against it so that you'll always have that lump sum nest egg. And you're just taking a loan out against it, and then you can work back on the loan. And I said, what? Now I understood the concept, but I was in a hurry. I was younger. I was like, I'm just going, let's go. Let's do this. Not realizing it's that lump sum mentality, right? It's when people get a lump sum and they start going, let's go. We got to go something right now, because they're in this mindset of being in a hurry to make up for lost time. That's what happens to a lot of people. They're trying to make up for lost time. He doesn't need to start a food truck. And here's the 10 reasons why. You just go through them, okay? First things first is, does he have $1,000 to $2,000 that he will be able to do in marketing for the next 24 months? And I'm being honest with you guys. Even people who have Facebook groups, like I have a Facebook group, I have 3, but the one that y'all know most about, right, is the Breaking Into Tech group. You don't know about the other 2, and that's fine. That's fine. We ain't gonna go into that long thing today. But I know people right now, that's their whole business model. They spend about $1,000 a month in Facebook marketing, sending people to these groups that people join the free Facebook group. They're in there, and then they're pitching their programs to them and giving them helpful tips, right? There's one I'm in that's blue collar related. I'll just say it this way. And the guy is like, hey, you need roofing tips, you need roofing leads. And guess what? Out of the, maybe I think 52,000 people in that group, at least 1,000 guys are paying him about $2,000 a month to do what? Get roofing leads. Now, what is that going to do? That's going to put all this money in his pocket from a free Facebook group that he ran Facebook ads to. And now he's going to do what? Spend that money to get leads, and then also give those leads to the people who pay for them, right? And then while throwing helpful roofing tips inside the Facebook group. He's super paid. He's super paid, and he's in Dallas. And when I met him, I said, holy moly, super paid, right? When it comes to food, when it comes to starting any new business, do you want to spend $1,000, $2,000 a month for the next 24 months without fail, trying to generate attention and eyeballs? Now, many people say, well, Erica, here's number 2. Here's number 2. I'm going to use social media. I'm going to post 3 times a day, and I'm going to get all this organic traffic. Let me be very clear. Why does the Keith Leaf effect work? Because he's using social media, right? He's very popular on social media. Keith Lee effect, if you have a stable business, will get about $1 million into your business in the next 90 days. But here's the key. Between people running out of supplies, worked out, most of the owners pass out from exhaustion. Most of them have never worked at that capacity or that fastness before. They retain about 10 to 20% of those people. That 10 to 20% could hold their business over for the next 5 years, of course. But that's why I want y'all to understand, the Keith Lee effect usually hurts most of those businesses than it helps them. It puts them quick money in their pocket, but if they don't handle it right, they don't get the employment right, they don't get the food right, they get away from what made them popular or made Keith Lee like them, it's dangerous. Dangerous. Speaking of social media again, okay? Number 3, I think we're on number 3 or number 4. When you own any type of food truck, food type business, you need to reach out to 10 to 30 food people and pay them to come by and review your place. Now you're going to say, no, Erica, people do food reviews for free. What are you talking about? Listen to me. The game has been changed. I'm in Austin, Texas, very competitive in the food market. And I've worked delivering food. I've worked as management in food. I've been on the other side of it. I've been in business. I've had a coffee shop. I've done all that. And what I can tell you from experience and from now, you pay 10 to 30 people a month, or you can spread it out over 60 to 90 days, but you're still going to have to do about 10 to 30 food people in your local area to come and basically do a mini Keith Lee. I know a girl who charges $1,000 a post. Now you're going to say $1,000? She comes, She takes photos of the food. She's eating the food. She's recommending the food. It's a story on her wall. And that restaurant usually gets a bump in clientele for the next 90 days. So yes, you're going to spend $1,000. Now, I went to a restaurant in Austin, me and the boo thing. We went to a hot pot place. I had never seen it. I had drove past it a million times, but it had never kind of dawned like I should go over there. I saw a video from an Asian guy. I said, oh my God, this is amazing. Now I messaged him on Instagram. He said, oh, I charge about $2,500. It was well worth it because when me and the boo thing went in there, it was a full packed place. And I can tell you all the times I've drove past there going to HEB, ain't nobody been in there. That place be looking empty. I don't even know it was open. And so when I'm in there, the food's great. The portions are ridiculous. And I'm like, why haven't they been getting the traction they needed? It's because that social media effect. It's because that food influencer effect. People on average are in their own little world. As you can see right now, as football is starting, as fall is starting, the average person, if you ask them, hey man, how are things going on? You know, the kids in the school. I got to get the school supplies. I got to meet the teacher. I got to get them new shoes. I got to cut their hair. I got to get the kids in the school, right? It's almost like they're a drone. You have to break people out of their everyday normal activity life, which for a lot of people is low productivity. It's mid, it's barely going, to get them to your brand new food truck, to get them to your restaurant. Okay? So again, number 4, my 4th or 5th, I think we're at 4. 27 years in one job. Let me tell you something. If you meet the average entrepreneur, they would rather jump off a bridge and break both their legs than be at Burger King for 27 years. Let me say that again. You meet the average entrepreneur, they rather jump off a bridge than be in one monotonous position over and over again. If you told me over the 27 years he did a business on the side at night, he had a little food truck before this even popped off, and he was just doing Burger King, just keep the roof on, the lights on. Okay. If you told me he was doing the 27 years because he's got 10 kids at home and they just got to feed them, okay. If you told me, yeah, he's been doing 27 years at Burger King, but he also got a certificate, a degree, a this, that while he was at Burger King, okay. But you're telling me for 27 years this man was here, didn't have a home, has children, and all of a sudden this money came in his life, he's got a home, and he's going to do a food truck all of a sudden? No, baby. And there's segments to life. Let me be very honest. When you meet people who progress through life, they may do 10 years here, then 10 years there, then 10 years at another thing. I have multiple family members. I have an aunt who worked in the religious system. She got a pension from her first working for a big church for 20 years, a mega church for 20 years, got a pension, went to the community college system, got another 20 years in there, pension. Now she's on her third thing, okay? And in between all those years, that particular aunt has always had some type of travel business, or she's had some type of part-time work at Carnival, which allowed her whole family and friends to get all these discounts, her to get all these sales promotions and money in her pocket. And she's been good, okay? When I meet somebody who says, I've been doing this one job for 27 years, nah, no. And I'd be like, what was his job before that? What was the job after that? If there's been no kind of hustle progression, this man's been on low-level depression working a job for 27 years. No, he hasn't been a shift leader. He hasn't applied for management. He hasn't changed position. Man, get out of here. Get out of here. Now, this ain't some little nowhere town, right? Now, let's go to number 5. Number 5. Is this a food truck town? What type of clientele's in this city? If you're telling me this man worked at this place for 27 years, is it because there's no other jobs in town? Is there because there are no other opportunities in town? Is this a place where you need to put a food truck? Right? Is this the type of town even open to that? Number 6 or 7, it's a recession right now. And now, again, I want you to be very careful as I say this. I don't care what this data is saying. You go look at shadow stats. If you believe we're not in a recession, and I believe it started October 2023, and I think they just had to hold it, but the rug's coming from under the bottom of it as we speak, unraveling. I was in Dallas at the state fair. Now, Dallas is hopping. Okay? Houston, popping. Austin, on fire. San Antonio with his dirty self, on fire. Parts of Florida, on fire. You tell me This man wants to start a food truck in a recession. I'm going to ask you, what's the city? Is it popping? Is people moving there? Is it on the top 20 city list? I think I told y'all this multiple times. Again, the deep 2/3 of America's GDP only comes out of 20 cities. Everybody else is in some type of little town that's just putting along. Okay, it's kind of like, it's kind of sputtering. It's kind of got a thing it's doing. That's why when I say Austin, and then you draw a circle around Austin, which we call the donut effect, you got Georgetown, Texas, and Cal, Texas, which is south. Georgetown's north. They're the number 1 and number 2 most relocated cities in America. That's why people are like, is Austin okay, Erica? Yeah, because everybody just moved to the suburb. That's it. All right. If you go Dallas, Dallas is huge. Okay. Fort Worth, Selena, number 3 most relocated place, United States, Selena, Texas, CELEIN, Texas. You go down to Houston and you start naming off cities around Houston, Tomball, Springs, all this stuff blowing up, Conroe. These are around a major city. So when you tell me you want to do a food truck, what is the city you in? And is it blowing up? Is it popping? Is it gyrating? Is there motion there? Are people coming there? Is there an audience for this? Number 8. And again, just in to finish out that story, we're at the state fair and the guy's like, oh, I didn't start a food a restaurant because we were in a recession in Dallas. Man, if you don't hush your mouth, a recession in Dallas, if you think you're experiencing a recession in Dallas, and this was 3 years ago when this man said this, we almost busted out laughing in the food line. I said, man, you can have a food truck. You'll be fine. And this guy was at the fair selling out, talking about recession. Then I remember I told y'all this maybe like 8 years ago, 9, 10 years ago. I worked at Section 8 housing, and the young lady had a doctor's, she had an HR and a master's in something, but basically it was HR. And she had 2 kids, and she'd always, basically from 18 years old to I think when we started, she was 27, been in school, been in getting government assistance for this housing, government assistance for those kids going to daycare, government assistance for her to go to college and go get a master's degree. And now she was done. And she was like, I don't know, because there's a recession in Texas. Everybody in the office thought she was telling a joke. We were getting ready to bust out laughing. She was dead ass serious. We're like, girl, if you think it's a recession in Texas, I don't know where you're going to go. I don't know if you're going to go out the country. I don't know where you're going to go. And when I started naming off, girl, Lowe's, Home Depot, HEB, she turned her nose up like, ugh. And this is why I'm talking about number 8. How does this person imagine themselves? What do they imagine themselves to be? Is it in alignment with them? This girl imagines she's in some HR white collar button up position. You think you're going to go from the basically a project? I mean, it was a nice apartment complex, but it had been turned all to low income. You're going to go from the projects, just going to college and hop into a white collar job? Girl, get your ass out of here. Get out of here. Like, you're smoking something and I want some of it because I want to be that high when I walk out my house that I think that delusion level. That's crazy. So again, you're talking about people who, how are they seeing themselves? How are they aligned? Number 9 or 10, I don't know which one I'm on. When people say, well, Erica, he worked in food service all these years, he may have connections. And somebody even in here said he may have a silent partner on the food truck. Let me be very clear. This man worked 27 years at Burger King. If he had any connection, if he had anything, he would not have been at Burger King 27 years. And if he had any connections, he wouldn't have been not management at Burger King for 27 years. If he, again, let's just run it down. For him to have this food truck, he needs to have an account with US Foods. He needs to have a commercial kitchen that he may be practicing some of the menu on or being able to store some of his supplies at, because it's hard to keep a long list of supplies inside of a food truck. Is this man going to put 15 deep freezers at his house? What are he going to do? Right? I'm not trying to be absolutely discouraging because I know this sounds like negative, scared energy, and I'm going to go over that in about 2 minutes. The flip of this. I think it's unfortunate, right, that we have treated a lump sum of money as your lottery to win. And I'm telling you, this man looks at this money as lottery. Because again, at most, he's going to get 100,000 in credit cards because he has a house now. He's had 27 years of working a lower income job. And so for the next 2 years, he will not be able to get a business loan. And so I think people are saying, Erica, you're being negative, you're being pessimistic, you're not being encouraging. And I just want you to understand, like, people are hopping into business not because it's the only way for them to go, it's because they think it's a lottery. Business is not a lottery. It's not a lottery. There's a lot of learning curve that you learn as you get into business. All right. It's a lot of times people say, well, Eric, I need to know what to do 90 days from now, 120 days. I'm like, first of all, you got to get through the first 30, 60 days. Once you get through the first 30, 60 days, you're going to see for yourself. Right? I tell y'all this story all the time. When I owned my coffee shop back in 2007, no, 2007, 2009. Anyway, long story short, those 2 years, 2.5 years, the guy who roasted our beans said, let me help you set up on Amazon and put these bags of beans, ground and whole bean, on this and start selling on Amazon. And I said, what the hell is Amazon? Explain to me this Amazon thing, because this is closer to 2010. And he was like, let me tell you how to do this. Let me tell you how to do that. Let me tell you how to do this, right? Let me tell you how to do this. And I was like, I don't understand this. This is very new what you're telling me. Now, fast forward about 2011, 2012, 2013, Amazon and all this stuff and selling online and selling coffee beans from a website and all this stuff, that was, people knew to do it. It wasn't even like, oh yeah, you can sell beans online. Like, it was a thing. You know what I'm saying? At the time, this guy was ahead of the curve telling me this. And I didn't understand. Right? So again, as G-Man said, business is complicated, learning all the time, no breaks. It's very true. Because what you're doing when you're starting an independent small business is you're nimble and you can learn and you can be flexible, but you basically are working a little business up to a, what we would call a standard business, where you got an HR person, you got an office manager, you got operations, you got a social media team, you got this. Like, you're working your small business to a team of maybe 5 to 6. Right? That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Exactly. Small business is harder than most people think. And they just assume, I got some money, I'm a win now. Let me control the energy and let me kind of sway it. Okay. Now here's the reasons. And again, because I just said at the beginning of this, scared money don't make no money. And let me put the flip side on it. I may even cut this segment and make it its own clip, but you know, I'm gonna go there though. Scared money don't make no money. Am I glad the man wants to do something with the money? For sure. But if you told me you had 400,000 and you bought a house and now you're gonna take the rest into a food truck, there ain't enough. There ain't enough. I already know. I just do. Okay. So let me go on here. Number one, and this is inspired. Let me give credit where credit's due, and I'm gonna clip it around here. Tim Jackson was up there talking about, I hate starting a new project and telling scary. You can get his expletives. Maybe I can get Peter to put it here. I'm gonna see if we can clip it and put it here for Tim Jackson. You start some new project, you have some new idea, and you want to tell people. Everybody gonna tell you don't do it, right? And even if you're very skilled, I have 10 years in business at this point, more than 10 years, honestly. And between also my family, my first job was my cousin's dollar store that he started from scratch, ordering products overseas and bringing them to the house. And I can stand back and tell you, here's the template: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to have enough confidence, conviction in yourself to fight. And I'm talking about fight for the next 3 years straight on this business ideal. Do you hear me? Okay. This is why I want to talk about scary money, people being scared. Your family's natural inclination is to tell you don't do this. Just like my inclination to tell this man that been working at Burger King for 27 years, don't do this, without consulting, coaching, education, training, I would not tell him to do this. You may say, well, Erica, you're just a scary dad, scary person. You're scared for him. Let him do it. All right, sure. Cool. I may be part of what I'm telling you. But number one, when you have an ideal, you have to act quickly on it. You have to act quick. I'm talking about when the ideal comes into your head, I want you to get out a sheet of paper. I want you to write out the next 10 steps that you need to do for that ideal to even come alive. Don't tell a soul that day. Don't tell a soul that day. I want you to write down the 10 steps, like right away. What do I need to do? Tell no one. for 90 days. Can you not tell anyone for 90 days? There are actual studies, right? There are actual studies. Thank you, Angela. I'm going to just go ahead and share this. There are actual studies that show if you start talking about a thing that you plan on doing, it gives you the satisfaction and the brain chemistry to feel like, I've accomplished what I said I was going to do. And immediately your energy levels, your dopamine levels go down because you just got so excited. You got so excited off telling people what you're going to do. As I started a project this year, I could not tell people. I literally sat at the computer 4 to 5 hours every day, researching, educating myself, getting the inventory, doing everything I needed for 4 months. I got a little excited one day and I told a couple people, and guess what? Every single one was like, no. Oh my God, baby, don't do it, Lord Jesus. Oh Lord, don't do it. Let me tell you what's gonna happen. Don't do it, Lord Jesus. Don't do it because they're gonna get you. You know, it's not good. Don't do it. And I spent at least 20 to 30 minutes with each person I told that, explaining how I just spent 4 to 5 hours the last 4 months studying this. I'm under the coaching and training of another person who has made $5 million a year doing the thing I want to do. He's walking me through the steps. I'm in a group of people. There's 25 of us all doing the same thing, and we're all teaching each other and walking through the steps together. I already have all the SEO purchased. I already have about 1,000 influencers I'm working with and emailing and talking to. I already have a wait list of people ready to do it and buy it. And the people were like, oh, I just don't know though. You know, that sounds good. You know, Black people's favorite thing. That sounds good, but I just don't know, Erica. I just don't know. Because when I did this or I did something similar, it didn't work. Now, what did I do when I ended up talking to those 5 people? I wore out my energy for about a week and a half. And I'm a high energy person. I'm I'm in it. And I had to laugh at myself because I was like, you see how you got wore out telling just 5 people? Don't tell people. Whatever you thinking, do so much action into the process that all they have to do is say, well, damn, well, you already done did it. Okay. I switched my conversation in about a month with those same people. Hey, it's already in process. It's already purchased. Website's already up. SOC already running. SEO already running. Everything's already in place. Things are already going. Sorry about it. Yeah, it's already happening right now. It's already in pacing. It's already done. You can't stop it. The train is leaving. And that's when people say, all right. Their whole conversation, their whole energy, their whole mindset to a woman who's been in business for 10 years, who's been over a coffee shop, who's been over a trucking company, who's been over real estate, who's been over big financial projects, little financial products, who's had a YouTube channel and a consulting business do millions of dollars. They were in fear for me. So when you tell me, Eric, I got this idea, I'm thinking about telling my family, and my wife didn't support me, baby, they ain't gonna do it. They have to see it in motion, in action, and that in turn turns them to let me support this because this is already, the train's already leaving. I've got a family member that has a barbershop. You know, if people told him not to do that, don't do that, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do it. Once he got the barbershop in place and rented out all the booths, and it's just the owner of it, really, they were like, well, you know, I knew you could always do it because yada, 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 yada. That's the nature of people. My mom has a business right now. So many people are telling her, oh, you don't need to do that. Don't need to do that. Oh, that's terrible. Da, 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 da. That business is making $250,000. Guess what people did? Well, you know, I knew you could do it, girl. You're so smart, girl. You know, it's because you're retired. You got all this time. You can do it, girl. These are the same people speaking fear into this lady for over a year and some change. And she's in her 60s, been military, been a business owner, been other stuff, been a homeowner, multiple properties, and they're speaking fear into this lady. I want y'all to understand. Scared money don't make no money. Scared money don't make no money. But you have to act quickly. You have to act decisively. You have to study yourself approved so that you know what you're going to do. Prime example, number 2. I told y'all about affiliate marketing opportunity last year and a half, maybe 15 months ago. I started talking about this opportunity. About good 15 months, maybe 13 months ago, 13 to 15. And I said, man, get in here, jump in here, educate people, teach people. It's a $7 15-day challenge. It's a $5 5-day challenge. Come on in, teach people hey, it's a great thing. You should definitely see if it can help people with digital product creation. The top 20 affiliates in that thing made $1 to $5 million in under 12 months. So much so that some of those people have already gone on to make Facebook groups. There's one Facebook group I'm in, the guy charges $13 a month, and there's 1,000 people in there, so it's making $13,000 a month. Why are those people following him for $13 a month? Because they seen the results in 1 year where he made over $1.5 million in 1 year. Now, the original affiliate offer that I was talking about, it's changed a little bit. It's still very valuable. It's still got a lot of punch to it, but it doesn't have the same momentum as it did a year ago. It just doesn't, right? Because what happens is social curiosity. What is this thing these people keep talking about? What is this thing people keep talking about? What is this thing people keep talking about? And when you have thousands of people talking about the same thing, it creates a massive energy, right? And when people show proof, right? When they have social proof, they can show you, hey, look, I made a meal. Now that person can run on that I made a meal in 2022 or 2023 for the next 5 years. Then listen, I want you to understand, half the time when these people came out from 2019 to 2021, 2022, and they made a couple million of these courses, the conversation a lot of people had is like, listen, this is it. This is it. What do you mean? What do you mean? This 5 million you made, this is the biggest you'll ever make it. No, that's not true. I'll keep making money forever. No, course sales are not going to go on forever. You need to be educating yourself, teaching yourself, growing yourself so that you can go on to the next business ideal. I'm telling y'all, I know people who've been consulting for over 20 years. Over the 20 years, their consulting ranges have changed. They've been over business, they've been over systems, they've been over that. They change every 5 to 10 years. There is an older white guy. He's been in business consulting since Tony Robbins had dark black hair, right? Grant Cardone, if you look at his young photos when he was 20 something, he was doing motivational speaking. That's why I shared on Community Wall. He had a motivational speaking angle. Work on your attitude, work on your presentation, read this, be that, be this. Now, what is he doing? You need to get to the money. Like every couple of years, you're going to have change and change in that. All right, let me go on to number 3. 3x the social media. And this is why people are hired to do this. Somebody super chat said, did I get your email? Send it to admin@classicalmtx.com. Let me check. And I'll message them and see if what email you're talking about. But people hire people to run their social media because it is time consuming and it takes a lot of energy. But ultimately, what happens is you dedicate somebody who can copyright and they're just posting the post at that point. It's on them to kind of follow up and make sure things are running well, right? But in the same vein, if you have any type of business, you're going to be wanting to get articles written about you and your business, interviews about you and your business. And that's the same with the food truck guy. The reason I tell people in the digital real estate class, you need to somehow, some way, if you can in 1 year, and let's be really honest, if you can do it in 6 months, if you can get about 100 interviews, 50 to 100. And the reason I say so many is because the average podcaster can barely fail to put out a podcast themselves. And if they wait too long, then they don't put it out. If you can put out about 50 interviews of you in different spaces, it's like a spider web. It's like a octopus arm touching all these different parts of the internet and pushing you up. Okay? So anytime you start any new business, any new project, what is the 3x on the social media you're going to get? The interviews is what is it? Number 4, run advertising. When I talk about running $1,200, $2,000 a month, I know people immediately say, no, Erica, I can't afford to do that. I won't do it. Listen to me. That $1,000 to $200,000 a month, if you just, and this is just the numbers, if you can get 100 to 200 new people signing up a month for your free Facebook group, and I say even more than that, but that's another conversation, and you have something to sell for $1,000 to $2,000, if you just get 2 to 4 sales every month out of that group, not even to mention the stuff you're going to get delayed next couple of months because people are going to see people winning in the group, it'll be consistent money for you forever. Right? Even with the school groups, which is SKOOL, I know people right now charging $49 a month. Their goal is to get that group up to 1,000. Now, let's say people are going to fall off. Every month, people are going to fall off. That's with any subscription service. That means you start out getting $50K a month. and it starts falling down lower and lower. But your job is to give so much value in those groups. Your job is to have people that elevate and grow. I have the Breaking into Tech Careers group. I've had it for so long, almost a year now, that there is somebody in there who posted, I really just need a chance. He just posted yesterday. I got a job as an IT coordinator, and everybody's going crazy. Over 18,000 views in this 60,000 person Facebook group. We're like, oh my God, it's possible. Guess what that's going to do to the Facebook group? Anybody who wanted to sign up for recruiting with our company and want to do other stuff, we're going to get some money. They're going to get some money, and we're going to get some money. It just is, it works and it builds on itself. I'll keep it like that. Number 5 or 4, I don't know. I think it's number 5. What are the top 10 things you need to do for this business right now? Just like when I told you, don't tell nobody, don't do anything, get out sheet paper, write type 10 things. When somebody tells me, hey, I'm gonna do this boutique website and we're gonna sell clothes and I'm gonna have a store location, I go, wait a minute. Before you do all that, what's the Shopify site? What's the website where they can pick up clothes? Where's the Pinterest? Where's the ads running on Facebook? Where's all the little 10 touch points where the person can see this material and these fabrics and can get in touch with your company and purchase from your company? What are those 10 touch points? Get those 10 touch points up and then call me. Because once you get those 10 touch points up, you're gonna like, Erica, how can I get more traffic? Okay, now we're gonna talk about getting more traffic. Okay, now I got more traffic. What do I do? Now we're gonna talk about more conversions. Okay, now we got more conversions. What are we gonna do? We're gonna talk about how we can get shipping out faster, right? Every level is different. You searching thousands of videos on YouTube on how to do something when you haven't even started the first 10 steps is silly. It's silly. Wastes your time and wastes your energy. All right, number 4 or 5. To become the person that you want, that you see, that you visualize, that you desire to be, every day you have to work towards it for the next 2 years. I'm talking about new clothes, new conversation, new associates, new everything. And that drives people crazy. Why? Because people don't like change. People want new money with the same behavior. And that doesn't happen. It doesn't, right? I will tell y'all something. I have been doing curly, wavy, big hair forever. Last year, the past 2 years, I've been doing braids. The energy, the people, the situations that come over and come up to me is amazing. The difference. Even the men that come up like, hey, look. How you dress, how you look, how you carry yourself, it speaks volumes. When I'm at kickboxing class, when I'm working on my trainer, I'm telling you, to do something every single day, consistently for 2 years, you will be amazed at who you are and who comes up to you, right? I started getting into seasonal tickets, basketball, golf stuff, football, baseball, you name it. The business owners and the people I have met and interacted with, blind blowing. I go to certain conferences, same deal. Now let me just put it to you this way. Let me do 3 examples. If you're going to be a food truck person, guess what? The next 2.5 years, everything out your mouth is about that food truck. All the people you need to be hanging around food truck people, all the events you need to be going to are food truck events, all the conferences and things you're going to are food truck related to help grow your business for the next 2 years. Do you really want to start a food truck? Because you're going to run into family members like, man, I'm tired of hearing about that damn food truck. We have one family member right now who works at a transportation company. And every time you see them, that's what they're talking about because they're so excited about it because they love it. We literally have family members like, I'm tired of hearing about that. I said, why are you tired of hearing about it? Because we just hear about it all the time. And I'm like, that's the pinnacle of their life right now. That's all they care about right now. So they're going to talk to you about that. In my head, first thing I said is, if I'm that family member, I'm going to spend less time with y'all. If y'all don't want to hear about this amazing thing that's happening in my life, that's changing my life, I'm going to go talk to people who are enjoying it. I remember I was going to a party and I was going to invite some people over with me. And they said, are those the people that you work at Lowe's with or the pizza delivery place? And I looked at the person that invited me to the party. I want to be like, what's your problem? See, they didn't want to be associated with pizza delivery people or Lowe's people, but I was cool. And immediately that waved me wrong. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not coming to the party. Because what they wanted is only people who were in tech like them around. Even though they kept being around all tech people and they couldn't get a girlfriend. They couldn't get what they wanted. They couldn't figure out why they couldn't get new friends because they only wanted the closest people around them to be just like them. And that's the nature of people. Okay. Second example, if you are a tech person, like we just talked about, and you're just getting into tech and you want to have this new amazing life in tech, guess what? Next 2 years for you is tech conferences, tech studies, tech certifications, tech everything. Every time I talk to you, you ought to be about tech, 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 tech. You ought to watch every Tech Tuesday we put in the playlist. You ought to be in every tech group you can. It's been a good hour to 3 hours a day with other tech people. Why? Because when people say they want to switch jobs or change jobs or something goes wrong, you should have a network of people you can reach out to in tech. And why would they reach out and work with you? Because you're in tech, you're engrossed, you're immersed, you're working with them. Make sense? Well, what's another one? What's another one I was going to do? I said food person. I said tech, real estate. You want to do real estate, right? I meet people all the time. Oh, real estate, real estate. I've been wanting to do real estate all my whole life, Erica. And first thing out of my mouth is like, who is your mentor? Who are you around? Who are you invested in? The next 2 years of your life, I don't hear nothing but bigger pockets out your mouth, bigger pocket podcasts, talking to realtors every day. If you're a realtor, I want you at many open houses as possible. I want you in realtor events, realtor immersion 101. The problem is many people are like, well, I have kids or I have a spouse. What you're really saying is, I don't want to change too much. Because I got kids and I got a spouse and I like it kind of how it is. I just wish I had more money. Is that true or true? Right? We know. Do y'all know people right now that want to change but don't really want to change? Drop a one in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Because it requires immersion. Many people believe I'm just going to be able to just do a little something and it changes my whole 180 to my life. They say the most reason people divorce after a baby is because the man thinks the woman will go back to how life was before, and the woman is now like, we're in a new phase. So we have two people on two different levels, two different planes, right? Out of alignment, if that's better word. Same when kids graduate and go to college or leave the nest. Parents get high divorce rates around then. Why? Because everything around life was about kids. Now the kids are gone. Who are we? What do we do? Where do we go? Where do we vacation? I know a few people right now who have a child going off to the military and they are pregnant. And I'm like, yay. And they're like, but it's because that is a restart of the button. You're going to have an 18-year-old and a 1-year-old. Seasons of life, right? So the immersion of where you're at for business is different. It's different. So to say I'm going to go from an employee at Burger King to an owner is not even, the gap is this big. It's like swimming down the beach. Like I'm gonna swim a mile to wherever I'm trying to go. That's crazy. It's not impossible. It's just a little crazy. Okay. So I had a few more notes on here, but I'm gonna hold off on those. I'm gonna read some of your comments and finish this out. Angela, I leased a food trailer in 2019 with $5K, thinking my 7 years of hospitality experience was going to get me through. Psych, threw in the towel at 3-month mark. There's a great TV show on right now. I think it's called The Bear. I have not watched it because I don't watch TV. I don't watch TV enough. I pick a show a season. Like House of the Dragon is my show. And now I'm like, okay, I'm done with TV for a while, right? I have to have an actual series that I can kind of binge through. I don't really, I have a hard time being patient with TV and the propaganda that's on it all the time. But this show is called The Bear, and it's basically one brother went to some type of culinary school, but then came back to take over his brother's like low income kind of restaurant. That takes different type of mentality and different type of energy and different type of ability. Thank you for sharing that, Angela. It's hard to change your mind from employee to employer. Two different mindsets. Facts, facts, facts. They always do, Justin Williams. I always knew you gonna make it, baby. I knew it was gonna come. We are programmed to always be safe and not take chances and change. The brain is powerful, but we can do it if we try to build it. They will come. Sometimes. There you go. Asher lives. My wife has our twins on TikTok, but she doesn't want to pay to promote the channel. I'm all for pay to play if it comes to make a profit. So here's the thing too about the twin thing. She could go reach out to 10 influencers and do collab. and those collabs could cross her over to the next level. But people are people. Like, they'd have to say, what are we doing a collab for? What are we in it for? What are we doing? What are we splitting? She literally could just do reviews of food and different things. And trust me, y'all mailbox, y'all PO box you put on the channel would be full of items, because they love doing that for baby channels. Realize if you process challenge others to think higher, don't tell them. It scares them too. Yeah, it scares them. Like when I was telling my mom about insulin, right? Like, they're like, Kamala's gonna lower insulin for people, and I said Donald Trump already did that in 2021. Back in his presidency, when Biden came in and overturned all his executive orders, people were worried it was going to overturn insulin. And she was like, wait, what? She went and researched it, got on the computer, looked, she's like, oh my God. I said, yeah, the average person didn't even know we had 3 people who ran for the Democratic spot. One of them is the son of the ConocoPhillips dynasty. The other lady's like 72 years old, out of North Carolina. I forgot her name. And the other guy is out of, I forgot where he's out of. Dang it. But the guy that's 55, you will see him in 2028. He is the idealistic future of the Democratic Party as a white male and the dynasty of ConocoPhillips. It just is what it is. Him, Gavin Newsom, and Shapiro. And I know this because I spent so many years in politics. How they look, their name, their influence, that's their next 3 guys. I could do a whole series on it, but that's a wartime CEO thing. But if you start telling people to think higher, the average person just wants to chill. They just want to unbutton, unwind, veg out because life's so hard. You'll hear it all the time. So making people think about stuff, they hate that stuff. Thank you. I appreciate it. There you go. I created an item. No one believed in me until I was on Shark Tank. Congratulations, man. And I would use that forever. I'd be like, I was on Shark Tank. I would literally have a whole page that I create, a landing page that says, hey, check out Vanessa on Shark Tank. And literally it could be like Vanessa Shark Tank. Depends on if they've already blocked that, right? And as people type in VanessaSharkTank.com, I'd have a clip of me from Shark Tank. And then I have a button at the bottom. If you want to talk to me, book a call with me, ask me questions, here, click here. Girl, I would do that all day and I would run traffic. I'd run $1,000 a month to it off Facebook ads. Be like, yeah, I'm Vanessa from Shark Tank. Trust me. Listen, let me tell you something. I have motions sometimes where I want to come in my house and throw away everything. Like I did that when I had plates and glasses. Everything I get, I bought all new plates, a new color silverware, new pots, new pans. I literally actively go to my mom's house and throw away old pans because I'm like, these pans are scratched up. You're getting these plastics in your body. Oh, it's fine, Erica. She don't know it, but I'm gonna come back again around Christmas. I'm gonna buy another pot set and put it in her house and throw away her old pots in the trash can on a trash day. So then she can't be like, oh my God, my pots. I'm like, they already gone. Trash man done took them. Here's these new pots. Enjoy. Right? Because people don't like change, but you need new everything. Like when I bought that suit, I was like, let me get some more slacks. I bought like 10 pair of slacks, different kinds that are all tailored to me. And then I got some button-up shirts, and y'all probably see me more in the fall wearing those because the weather's very more conducive to it. But yeah, new everything. You gotta almost toss stuff. Because you'll just get used to putting on the same old clothes, same old shorts, same old shoes. Like I'm big on that. Like when I worked and I didn't have money and I had a hole in my shoe one time. I looked down, I was like, I'll never live like this again. I'll never not have a new shoe on for my feet because I have flat feet and my feet hurt. No. That's why when people see me in them cowboy boots, I'm like, I pick particular cowboy boots and I put different insoles in them and trust me, invest in yourself, new everything. Bonnie Clyde. When did I start working on personal? I have always worked on personal development. I think the most important time I worked on personal development is when my grandmother died, and then my father died 6 months after. My father died on Christmas Day, and out of the country, and I had to recover his body. That is when I started personal development. And really, truthfully, before that, because my dad used to help me. It wasn't Tony Robbins CDs and cassettes, but it was like, who was that powerful speaker before that? Dang, it was somebody before that. But basically, I had all these cassette tapes and CDs of motivational speakers and about growing in courage and not being depressed. And then my grandma died, and 6 months later, my dad died. And I'm telling you, it was those tapes and CDs I played over and over again, growing in knowing I loved my grandma, I loved my father. They were gone, and I would never see them again. And that's okay, because they would want me to live and have a fulfilling life. But that's when I started my personal development. And then I've always just kept on it. Like whenever I reach to a point where I don't understand something, I need to get somebody who understands it better than me. Right. Before about 2017 to 2018, I spent $198,000 on courses and masterminds and trainings. And a lot of that stuff that I learned, I talked to my people that worked for me at my companies. I go back to some of the information. I log into old courses, old classes. Like, I know I heard this before. I know how to do this. But the most impactful is when I'm actually one-on-one with somebody coaching me how to do something. Right. Like I've been so trained over all these years of 10 years that I've delved, self-taught, self-trained myself enough that when I went on this guy's page and he was giving all this free information, I was able to put this business together. And by the time I got to him, he was so impressed. He was like, I want to work with you one-on-one because you put all the pieces together and I didn't even talk to you yet. Like, congratulations, you're taking action more than people that's been following me for a year. And that's just how it is. But personal development is, I strongly suggest, if you feel stuck somewhere, a lot of y'all call me talking about imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome, the biggest thing is if you don't take action enough, you'll feel that way. Like, oh, I'm not real. That's why that whole toss all your clothes out, change your friends. I don't mean get rid of everybody you know, but I mean actively try to grow this new identity because you don't believe it. So how can other people believe it if you don't believe it? I don't mean fake it till you make it. I mean actively be growing to this new person that does what? Right? When I hear women say, I've always had a broken heart, I've always had bad men, I've always had bad relationships, I'm like, girl, why are you speaking that over yourself? Whenever I hear these men, and this is why I'm so passionate, because I have nephews and I want them to see America not as this scary place where women are mean and life is hard and I can't do anything and I got to go over to Brazil to find a woman. Like, no, we don't raise people like that in our family. We've had over 20 male cousins and they're all successful, happy, healthy men. Right? They're traveling. They got married in the military. They got homes. They have side businesses. They're healthy. My nephew has a company. He has trailers. He has a truck. He has money in his bank account. He's optimistic. He has a little girlfriend. I want them to be confident when they go out in the world. And that requires, self-development, but it also requires how you look at things. What kind of healthy people do you have around you? Okay. So it's all about how you see the world. Zig Ziglar, Earl Nightingale, a lot of those. Jim Rohn, a lot of them. I can't think of all the exact ones, but that's basically it. Someone said talk about the meetup. Long story short is August 25th. We've done this a million times. 6:30 to 9:30. You paid it. We always send out the email of the location because we always get surprise guests. And I'm a woman and I'm by myself and I don't like that. Don't do that because I carry the pew and I don't want to hurt nobody. Okay. But we will have it. It's a meetup. I usually talk a little bit in the beginning. Diamond Dave, if he's there, he'll talk a little bit in the beginning. Patrick Dix will talk a little bit in the beginning. You know what I mean? I try to always, anybody who supports us, they'll talk a little bit in the beginning and kind of get the kick off the conversation. Any questions you have? I mean, if Bill's there, he'll also talk a little bit. We always try to do that in the beginning. And then we just kind of mingle because I want y'all to meet people in real life, real everyday life, that are doing things you want to do. Even when I just had the Digital Liberty Tour, the people in that room, those business owners in that room, man, I'm just telling you, every one of those people are really doing something. In a year, you're gonna look back and say, man, everybody in that room made an initial 250 to 500,000. What's going on? Because when you're around and you're in a room with people who are actually doing stuff and actually taking action and actually keeping you accountable. Like, hey, how'd that thing go? Hey, how those leads go? Hey, how did you reach out to that guy in that company? Did you run your Facebook ads? Are you running $5 a day Facebook ads? What are you doing? The accountability, the conversation is elevated. It's better. So Pew, 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 pew. For sure, for sure. So that's what I have for you guys. I didn't have a ton. I didn't mean to go full hour. I thought it was going to be a short one, but I just want you to understand. Rewind the video if you missed anything, and I'll also pull clips out of this. But yeah, act quickly, decide on what you want to do, and walk into that new identity. And that's the best thing you can do. The best. Good luck to the Burger King man. Good luck to the story that this will be. I hope maybe Keith Lee or somebody will come visit him and help him keep that afloat, however you want to look at it. But running a business and starting a business after being somewhere for 27 years is challenging for anybody. So anyways, you guys, this is your girl Erica, Classy Clown Blog. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Have a wonderful day. Also, thank you Skynet for letting us the last couple of videos rock. We got 34,000 views on one and 7,000 on the other. So let's see. Knock on wood. All right, you guys, this is your girl Erica, Classy Clown Blog. You guys have a wonderful day.